everybody. I'm Kristen Lago.
And I'm Jodee Sullivan. Welcome to episode 4 of the He Said, She Said podcast.
Remember, you can listen to us every Wednesday night at around 7 or 8. We're running a little late today. I'm sorry. But if you want to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube, listen to us on SoundCloud, and subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the fact that you can subscribe to us on iTunes now just because it makes it easy. We're on your phone. We go everywhere you go. So don't miss out.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Listen to us on your way to work. Listen to us on your way home. We're a great time. If you want to have a great time, there we go.
Yeah. All right. So fast pitches, yes. One of my favorite segments. We each get a minute to talk about something that we found in the sports world this week, whether it was like entertaining or funny or just straight up interesting. Kristen?
Yeah,
do you want to pitch first?
Yes, I'm always ready to go first on this one. So, yeah, one of my favorite things to do is look for kind of the funny or interesting moments of sport, not necessarily the best sports moment. This one, definitely not the best sports moment I have ever seen. So, I don't know if you guys recall last weekend, the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks played. And it was kind of an unheard of thing. They were tied going into the end. Arizona has the ball. They're trying to get ahead by 3 points, kick a field goal within 30 yards. So they end up missing that field goal. We had one of the players kind of jump and block that kick, so it hits it off the bar. So crowd goes wild. The coach goes crazy for the Cardinals, slammed his clipboard down. It's hilarious. I think you need to take a look at that video if you haven't seen it. So Seattle thinks they're going to win. They rush down the field. Their kicker, traditionally amazing, incredible, known as one of the guys that just does not miss, especially from inside 30 yards. So he gets ready, 7 seconds left on the clock. I know you watch this, and misses the field goal. The field goal just goes completely to the left. And if you look, I think my favorite part of it is just looking at Pete Carroll's face, because it's just a blank stare, like completely astonished that he's missed this. And the radio calls are hilarious. Just a totally unheard of tie in the game where both kickers miss a 30-yard field goal. I'm like, this is what we're paying you the big bucks for. Come on. So my fast pitch of the day, hilarious. One of the worst kind of endings to a game, or the best I've ever seen.
Little over a minute on that fast pitch with your delivery there, but honestly, it's all right. I thought it was an entertaining story as a Seahawks fan. Little bit of a bummer, but a tie is better than a loss. But I do have to say, watching coaches' reactions is thoroughly entertaining, whether it's like positive or negative.
Almost as good as the fan ones where they're just depressed. Those are my favorite. Maybe I'm cynical, but the coaches are a close second.
I would say college football fan like depression pictures are probably the best.
Always like hand on head, just depressed. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Your turn?
Yeah, I'm ready for my fast pitch.
Right,
so
whenever you're ready.
Yeah. As you all should know, NBA season is back. They started last night being Tuesday night. They're playing tonight. Rest of the team kind of gets their start today being Wednesday. And so Bleacher Report released a video kind of previewing the NBA season, like a little nice promo intro kind of video. And what other better way to promo it than to the Parks and Rec theme? I am a huge Parks and Rec fan. Like, Leslie Knope is my homegirl. She's fantastic. Yes. So I stumbled upon this video and just started laughing. They got everything right, like the graphics switching through the grids. You have like LeBron James there, Kawhi Leonard, Steph. You have Durant there, and it's just all kind of players, like the big top names going on right now. And it was absolutely hysterical watching it. So now, like, I want to go home and watch Parks and Rec. So it's probably how I'm gonna end my night.
Isn't it how we all end our night? And you were right on time with that one.
Perfect.
But I love that one. I just love the way kind of the NBA does social media and does digital media. I think they're one of the best leagues in terms of what they're putting out. Just like, I like how they recognize their athletes as figures in society and as celebrities, and they're not afraid to like flaunt them as such.
Yeah. And I think even on that note, the NBA recognizes the power that their players really have as celebrities, as kind of spokespersons for issues that are important in society, whether that be like social issues or just kind of issues in sports themselves. But I remember like before the ESPYs, they like got up and talked, and just a lot of like really powerful moving messages. And like you said, they really utilize social media, which is something that another league that is in season right now can learn a few things from.
Maybe just one or two. I don't know. All right, so you've heard our pitches for the night. Stay tuned next week for even more of those. we're going to get started discussing kind of the news of the week, the news of the day. For our first one, we're going to talk about some baseball. I don't know if you heard, but the World Series has started. Historic World Series at that, with the Chicago Cubs and the Indians. So obviously whoever wins in the outcome going to be historic. Both teams haven't been to the World Series in over 60 years. So a lot of old-time fans who haven't seen their team in the World Series in a while looking for that big win.
I remember seeing something like there's a Cubs fan. She's like 102 years old or something. And that's crazy to go literally your entire life without seeing your team win. Like, that's absurd.
I think it's like 1945 or something. The last time they won the World Series, or the last time they were in the World Series. The last time they won, I think, was 1908.
Yeah, 1908. No, 1906 maybe. I don't know.
Around
there.
It's
been 100.
Yeah, crazy.
I think 8 years at this point. Oh yeah, that would make it 108. Yeah. I'm really good at math.
There you go. Subtle brag. But the game is currently going on. So game 1, Indians took it. I think the score was...
It's 6-0 in game 1. Indians kind of cleanly took it, to say the least. Lester was a little frazzled. I think it was in like the bottom of the first inning, maybe bottom of the second inning. Stolen bases on Lester just kind of threw him for a loop, and kind of from that point on, the Cubs really couldn't save it with their bullpen, and their offense wasn't doing much. Remember Kluber put up something like 8 or 9 strikeouts, which, I mean, if you're pitching that hot in a World Series game, like, your team better win.
He had a great game, and also they're at home, so they were going to come out hot, especially for all their fans that are paying insane amounts of money to go see them. So thousands and thousands of dollars. But but in game 2, which is still going on, what inning are they in
right now? It's 5-1. It's in the top of the 9th.
So Cubs coming out stronger, definitely in this round. I kind of predicted that from going in, that it was going to be just a back and forth series. I knew you were telling me earlier you have some end game predictions about who's going to take it.
I do have end game predictions. I think that the Cubs are going to win tonight. I mean, it's 5-1 right now. Okay, so now we're moving into the bottom of the 9th. But it's 5-1 right now. So I think the Cubs are going to pull it out. I don't really see the Indians scoring 4 or 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th.
I agree.
But I think they're going to go back to Chicago, and just the pure madness that is happening in Chicago, in Wrigley Field, around Wrigley Field, I think the Cubs are going to take it. I don't want to jinx it or anything.
Knock on some wood.
But I think the Cubs are really feeling it. You saw this at the tail end of the National League Championship Series. Their offense is firing on all cylinders. Pitching is doing pretty well, holding opponents down to little runs. But I really think that the Cubs are going to win. And I originally thought that the Cubs were going to sweep, so I was kind of shocked to see Cleveland go ahead and get that first win in game 1.
But I think what's interesting about the Cubs is that you saw it when they were playing the Dodgers, is that they almost play better when they're down almost a little bit. Like, they're good at coming back from something that, I mean, we thought it with the Dodgers too, the Dodgers and Cubs. I think you said all along you thought the Cubs were going to make it to the series, so you saw that from the beginning. But they do play better. They respond to, the loss really well, and we've seen that in the game tonight. So
yeah, and I think that the Cubs are a team, once their offense gets kind of gets rolling, everyone builds upon that, and it's almost, there's no stopping them. Their defense gets better as their offense gets better, and their offense just continually gets better as they already start.
I'm excited to see what comes of the rest of the games, and definitely, I actually hope it goes to Game 7, just because I think
that would be amazing.
World Series baseball is the best baseball to watch. I'm not a baseball fan at all by far. I think there's too many games, too many things to keep track of, but playoff baseball and World Series baseball, this is crazy just because the fans are so invested, so I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah,
I definitely think playoff baseball, I wouldn't say it's my favorite playoff sport. I think the NHL holds that. I just think how they structure it and the pace of those games, I think, really kind of keep you interested through their different series. But I would have to say that October baseball is right up there as a close second.
It's great.
And then there's just the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, then there's all the rest of the leagues. But we're going to step away from baseball and talk about another sport.
Get into some basketball. I'm so incredibly excited. I love basketball. Obviously, I enjoy the sport, but I think I love it more because I grew up watching games with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
And just growing up a fan kind of with him, going to games with him ever since I was a little kid. I love basketball season.
Well, I think it's a sport for all ages, and that's what's really special. I know the Lakers have their opening game tonight at the Staples Center, so we'll see what happens with that. But we're going to talk about another California team, the Warriors. What was supposed to be a super team in the Warriors, they kind of collapsed last night. They had their home opener, And this is a team that started off the season last year in what was an unheard of winning streak. They didn't lose at home until April.
Yeah.
We are in their first home game. I believe I read a stat that said this was their first home opener loss in the history of the franchise.
That's
insane. So
insane.
they ended up losing by a wide margin to the San Antonio Spurs. Also a great team. Knew it was going to be a great game. Did I expect the Warriors to lose and lose by that much? Not at all.
I was shocked.
Not at all. So I don't know what really happened. I'm not a Warriors fan by any means. I grew up in LA. I'm a Lakers fan by heart. But they have they have Kevin Durant. They have Steph Curry. They have Klay Thompson. They have I can count on all of my fingers just all the top players that they have.
Yeah.
People saw them going all the way.
Yeah.
This year, and then no, nothing.
I also was shocked by the fact that not only did they lose, I was expecting a really close, interesting playoff kind of caliber game, and then the Spurs come in and win something like 129-100. That was the complete opposite spectrum of what I was anticipating to happen. But it's the first game of the season. It's a long season. It's a long way till NBA playoffs. But I was more so blown away the fact that they lost by so much. And they shouldn't have lost by so much.
No.
All of the talent and all of the players they have on that
Goodness
team,
gracious.
They just frankly shouldn't have lost by 29 points.
And arguably San Antonio is an incredible team as well.
Definitely.
You've seen that in the past season. But the Warriors, just with the talent they have and the coaching staff, I think Steve Kerr is a great head coach and has been for the program. But I don't know. We'll have to see if they can bounce back from this, if it's a matter of just adjusting to the chemistry of having so many big players. So I know sometimes that either, works out, as we saw with the Heat when they had their super team, as we saw with the Lakers back in the day when they had their super team. Seems like forever ago. But I think it is a matter of chemistry. I think we'll see them bounce back, and maybe it won't be this season that they, go all the way. We'll have to see. I think based off the Cavs night last night that it's going to be the Cavs again. But, we'll see. It's still so early. The season is so long. So,
definitely.
But still a shocker of a game. Crazy.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are gonna find their way through their team chemistry. They might have some hiccups here and there the first couple games of the season, but they honestly have too much talent to not figure out their chemistry.
I agree.
That's what it comes down to. This team has too much talent to not succeed.
I agree.
That's what it comes down to.
So we'll have to wait and see on that one, and we'll check in with our Lakers to see how
they
do tonight.
If we're looking right now, it's 22-22.
There we go. Okay, we're not
got
losing.
about 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. So yes, they're not losing.
That is something
Positivity.
that we can say as Laker fans over here.
It's been something like they haven't won, or I guess in the last 6 seasons they've had one home opener win. So we'll see.
I know. I went to the preseason game against the Trailblazers, and they lost in overtime.
Oy.
So it's something that we're used to seeing as Laker fans, but I think it's a different team. The no Kobe era. I think they're trying to build their own identity. So I'm excited to see and they've just finalized their roster. So I'm excited to see what these players can do.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think the Lakers are gonna get more than 17 wins this year.
One can hope, right?
I think they have the youth and kind of a good blend, a good mixture of talent between the couple veterans that they still have around and a lot of their youth. So I'm really hoping that they get more wins, both as a fan and as someone who lives in Los Angeles and enjoys watching good baseball. Baseball's on the brain. Good basketball. So we'll see. I think that they'll do better. I think that they're on the right track. Don't get me wrong. I love Kobe Bryant. He was one of my sports idols growing up.
Literally my all-time favorite. I still think he's on the team. It's really sad.
It's strange. 20 years and he's not
Our
playing
whole
with
lifetime.
Them. Yeah. Literally my whole lifetime.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But I do think it's in the right direction for the Lakers.
I agree. I think their youth just needs to grow into that, into their new roles. And I think we're going to see them do that. I think Walton's doing a good job so far. I'm excited for him. And I also enjoy him as a person and as a coach.
He seems really cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they do. But we're going to step away from basketball now and do yet another sport.
Woohoo.
There is one of those weekday games coming up for USC.
I'm excited.
They play their first weekday game of the year against Cal. The California Golden Bears are coming down to play USC at the LA Coliseum tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. So this is going to be USC coming off a bye week. Cal is actually coming off of a weekday game last week, which I think really puts them at a disadvantage. Also, I think it's just kind of cruel that whoever made their schedule gave them a Friday night game and a Thursday night game back-to-back. Just no time to recover off that one. And as a student athlete, you're missing a lot of class.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough for them. They are coming on the road. we were talking about this earlier. We do expect USC to easily glide past Cal, but at the same time, USC sometimes falls into these trap games that people think they're going to win. So we can break down that a little bit, but I think first you got to, what is this interesting stat that we found? Because we don't remember really the last time that Cal beat USC, at least in our like adult life. Are we adults? Kind of adult lifetime. Legally adult lifetime. So tell everybody about this stat that we figured out here.
Yeah, so the last time that USC lost to Cal or that Cal beat USC was in 2003.
I was 8.
I was 7.
There we go.
It's been a while.
Yes.
And just to put that in perspective, Aaron Rodgers and Marshawn Lynch both still played at Cal in this phrase. Rodgers left for the NFL in 2004 and Lynch left a year later than him. So both of their last seasons, Marshawn's being his last 2 seasons, they suffered losses to USC. And it's been losses to USC for the Golden Bears since then.
That is crazy. Absolutely insane. I don't even remember. Sometimes I forget they even went to Cal just because it was so long ago. Seems like they've been in the NFL forever. But yeah, USC has a history of beating Cal, not only at home at the Coliseum, but up at Cal for the weekend or when they travel up there. So I think they're primed and ready. They had so much time to practice.
Definitely.
And they're coming off of another win. So they're trying to keep a win streak alive. And also, this game is Pac-12 South play. Yeah. So they're really playing for the Pac-12 South at this point because, I mean, it obviously depends on if Utah and Colorado lose, but they can't lose at this point.
Yeah, USC can't lose. We talked a little bit about that this last week. USC can suffer one more loss this season, and that would be a loss to Washington. Yep. But now the caveat to that is both Colorado and Utah would also have to suffer another loss if USC gets that loss to Washington. But we'll see. That's a couple weeks in the future. Right now they have Cal to focus on, and I think Sam Darnold is going to be able to light up that Golden Bear defense and put up good numbers as he has been in recent games, kind of since he took over the offense and has been playing well for being a redshirt freshman. But we'll see. I know Cal offense puts up a lot of points, but I think that they haven't faced as good a defense as USC has. So I think USC's defense is going to hold them to very minimal scoring points, which is kind of going to be a wrench in their game plan for Cal, at least, just because they haven't been used to not scoring a lot of points. But I do think kind of the USC's offense is going to be able to spur and score a lot of points. And even without Justin Davis, who we know he's been ruled, he has that high ankle sprain he's been dealing with.
And I'd rather him be out for this game than we see him out in games like Oregon, not so much, but definitely Washington. Want him to be primed and healthy for that. So we're going to see, the play of Ronald Jones, Cedric Ware, but both great players. So I think at least Ronald Jones has really kind of found his own. He struggled a little bit at the beginning of the season, but we've seen them. So I think USC is going to concentrate on their run game, kind of prep themselves. They've got a few tough games ahead. So I think, it's going to be a good game to kind of work those kinks out and have the playing time to do that. So I want to hear your scoring prediction.
All right, 45-14 USC.
All right, I'm going with about the same thing. I'm going to go 45-21 just because USC has struggled a little bit with turnovers. So I think we're going to give Cal the ball a little bit more than they necessarily should. Give them a chance to score. We'll see if the defense can hold them, but I'm gonna give Cal a little wiggle room on that one. I do think USC is going to win, though. So,
perfect. All right.
There we go. We'll see tomorrow night. Tune in 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, I'm excited. Should be a fun one.
I like the weekday games. They switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, my professor canceled class, so I'm not complaining.
She really loves the weekend games. Yes.
Yeah. It should be good. I'm stoked.
Me
All
too.
right. So you time for a little bit of stretch, I think.
No,
might be necessary.
A little tired.
I know my arms are really sore. I played a lot of beach volleyball this past weekend.
Oh,
so
I
nice
watched a lot of Netflix. So same thing.
Basically.
We need a little bit of a stretch. We're going to move away from any field, any court, any baseball diamond that we've talked about today and talk about a little love.
Love. I think this is going to be now like our third podcast where we talk about a married couple or an engagement or some type of like love relationship.
Can you tell what we think about all the time?
Anywho, so one of my favorite, I guess, like athlete celebrity couples is Russell Wilson and his beautiful wife.
They're literally
Sierra.
Perfection.
So adorable.
And they had a big announcement yesterday. They took to social media to announce that Sierra is pregnant.
No, I am so excited.
Love it. I love them from the beginning. I just thought their whole relationship was really cute. And then especially knowing kind of the background of Sierra's last relationship with Future and kind of how that broke down. So I think they both deserve, and then Russell Wilson's as well, both kind of shaky relationships in the past. So finding each other, they're beautiful together to look at. And then just even better to hear about. I think they really are in love. It's a story of where two people really found each other at the right time. Now he's going to be a first-time daddy, which is so
I'm
cute.
Excited.
Great
It'll
guy.
Be fun. Their
great
Instagram
player.
picture, absolutely beautiful. Just the two of them kind of posing. I think they're asleep. I don't know, but it's just absolutely stunning and a really simple way to kind of make the announcement that there is a baby Wilson on the way. Older brother or a younger brother or sister for little Future, which I think Russell calls him like little man or something.
So cute.
I know Russell's talked a little bit about how he wants more kids to surround Future with more little brothers and sisters. So, I mean, I think it'll be fun.
I'm excited to see whether it's a boy or a girl. I'm hoping for a boy. I don't know why. I like the idea of little two boys running around together.
And then the third one can be a girl. Yes. And she'll have her two older brothers.
Sister. Exactly. Yeah. That's my dream. So, and if they need a babysitter, we are right here.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we would have to fly up to Seattle, but it shouldn't be that hard.
I would do it for the Wilsons. So, but that's the end of
pretty much wraps up our fourth episode.
Ended on a high note today, and I'll go to bed dreaming about love,
children, and love,
and much too young for that right now.
But yeah, so we really hoped you enjoyed our fourth episode. And I'm Jodee Storm Sullivan,
and I am Kristen Lago, and from the USC Annenberg Media Center, we're gonna sign off. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.